Good morning, everybody. I'm really delighted to welcome you all here, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues. I'm really impressed from the willingness to be here, the enthusiasm with whom you accepted to share with us our 20th anniversary, which we will be celebrating by having this scientific event. I think on behalf of all Europeans, we need to pay an additional thanks to those colleagues who flew in from outside Europe to join us. And I hope I will not forget anyone. I'm really grateful to Dr. Kondo coming from Japan, from John Lin coming from Singapore, our colleagues from South Africa, South Korea, the WHO, the Commission is here, and also, of course, Margaret Hamburg, Dr. Hamburg, who will also giving a speech. I'm really grateful that you came here, which means that we are all aware that addressing our future is a global issue. And your presence here, your commitment to fly, to have a long flight to come here, is witnessing that it's a global problem, our future. And I think the best way to celebrate a successful story of an institution is to start to preparing it for the future. And since I think it's trendy today to single out 3 words to address an issue, I will follow this trend, and I single out 3 key words: complexity, opportunity, and patience. We know that the development of medicine, the future medicine, will come in a more complex way. We have more complex molecules, we have cell, tissues, sequences of them. We will have technology to deliver them. We will have technology to diagnosis, to identify the patient who will benefit for the new medicines. The disease classification also will be more complex, addressing the pattern of molecular expression on top of the topographic description of where the disease happened. What is the challenge about complexity? That complexity should not invariably recall the word cumbersome. This is our challenge. But complexity also takes opportunities. May open up to many opportunities. We are heading toward the more personalized medicines, which means that we open the opportunity to have a more patient-driven approach of development as opposite to more market-driven development. The new model may open an opportunity to have more company in different segments of the development, at different stage of development. These open up to academia, small and medium enterprise, spin-off, and big pharma. For both, there are opportunities in the new model that is here to come and that will be possibly generating new ideas today. The complexity will generate opportunity to develop technology, for example, for monitoring patient, which means apps, which means sensors, which means big data use. Ultimately, will generate a more rational and safer involvement of patient in clinical trial, possibly. And this calls for the 3rd word, the patient. Let me start with recalling how proud we are at EMA for what we have done to bring the patient to generate with the patient the evidence. And I think it's one of the successful story of the EMA is the story of the relationship between EMA and the patients. We know that only them are really able to bring us the real benefit-risk assessment. They are only entitled to really teach us what is the quality, the added quality of life generated by any therapeutical approach. We have to do in a more integrated way, and our commitment now is to have them fully integrated in the decision-making process. What is the thread all around this? I think the thread is the regulatory science. The regulatory science will be able to bring all these together and to teach us how to move and to evolve. And today I think is a very important opportunity to focus, to discuss, to generate ideas of how to address these two words and beyond. And let me start by inviting one of the key partners for us, our DG partner, DG SANTE, who is represented today by Ladislav Miko, who is the Deputy Director, now Acting Director General. And I think he has a long-standing experience in science. He's an academician. And he is very highly entitled to open this meeting, which will be basically to generate evidence and with a scientific approach. Please, Ladislav, if you can join.
Thank you very much, Guido. Good morning to everybody. Actually, in my work, when I'm coming to the conferences, I usually know majority of the people in the room, and it's not the case today. I'm first time here in London in connection with EMA, as I took my position of Acting Director General on from the beginning of November. And you may say, okay, I'm coming first time, and I'm coming for celebration only. No, I want to declare that I am ready to be very passionate collaborator and work together with EMA and all the partners in the near future. And I also learned that when speaking about the work and appearance of EMA, I have to learn about the scales. I was told I'm invited for a small conference to celebrate the anniversary. Okay, 400 people from around the world. If that is a small conference, I wonder what would be a big one. But that all demonstrates the importance and quality of the work. And you heard my past history was a science. I am by education, and I worked more than 10 years as a scientist. So I'm so happy to have an opportunity, time to time, to be in discussion with scientists and to hear words different that staff working document, comitology, co-repair, etc., and speaking about scientific advances. I think I'm really looking forward for today's program and for further collaboration. Let me to say a few words about the day we are here, why we are here. First of all, of course, I want to thank to EMA for the invitation and giving me opportunity to join this 20-year celebration. This is truly a year of celebration, as 2015 also signals another important anniversary. It is 50 years since the adoption of the first European law on the authorization of pharmaceuticals. A large body of European legislation has been developed since 1965, which includes the progressive harmonization of requirements for granting of marketing authorizations implemented across the entire European Union. EU legislation also gave birth to European Medicines Agency in 1995, which we now celebrate. The decision in 1995 to set up an agency and bring together in its scientific committees highly skilled experts from member states that remain attached to their countries is still one of the unique characteristics of the EMA today. Over the years, the agency acquired increasing responsibilities under EU legislation and continues to play an important role in contributing to the implementation of European Union policies and assisting thus the Commission in its policy-making tasks. Today, the European Medicines Agency is a well-known, well-respected medicines agency worldwide, and this is demonstrated by your presence here. The role of the agency in supporting the decision-making process by bringing together scientific expertise available at national level has helped to create confidence in the European system, which has achieved important results, both at the European and at international levels. Other regions beyond Europe are increasingly showing an interest in this system, which demonstrates that it may serve as inspiration for others. The agency and the Commission are involved in the same regulatory process, and the Commission relies on sound and robust scientific opinions developed by the scientific committees of the EMA. The work of the agency is of utmost importance for all European Union citizens, as it contributes to ensuring that the medicines which are authorized in the EU meet high standards of efficacy, quality, and safety. I want to use this opportunity to thank the agency for its contribution towards creating a solid regulatory framework for pharmaceuticals. If we want to improve patients' access to high-quality and affordable medicines, we also need a stable and efficient regulatory environment to which agency contributes so significantly. Indeed, the theme for today's conference puts the patient in the forefront, and rightly so, because we, both the Commission and the agency, are working to protect public health in the interest of patients. Patients are interestingly looking for timely access to innovative and, at the same time, safe and efficacious medicines. In this regard, several initiatives have been brought forward in the last few years. The agency initiated in March 2014 the Adaptive Pathways Pilot Project. As much as the Commission is committed to support initiatives that will facilitate innovation and speedier access of patients to innovative medicines, it must also ensure that these initiatives are in accordance with European Union law and are discussed with all European Union member states and relevant stakeholders. In response to these developments, the Commission has created a dedicated group of experts from the member states and the agency on safe and timely access to medicines for patients, or STAMP if you wish. The expert group will provide advice and expertise to the Commission services as regards the implementation of the European Union pharmaceutical legislation and national initiatives, and indeed identify ways to optimize the use of existing regulatory framework and regulatory tools, such as the conditional marketing authorization and accelerated assessment to further improve safe and timely access and availability of medicines for patients. The agency's role in the STAMP is very important, and the Commission values this collaboration. The agency is also actively engaged in strengthening cooperation with health technology assessment bodies, other key players in the debate to facilitate access to innovative medicines. The pilot on parallel scientific advices involving both regulators and HTA bodies, the well-established cooperation with EUNet HTA, the joint action co-funded by the Commission gathering the HTA bodies, are the concrete results of such cooperation. The Commission is convinced that while respecting the different objectives and remits of the marketing authorization and HTA processes, synergies can be created and are in the best interest of all European patients. That is also why we have invited EMA to be part of HTA network set up by the Cross-Border Healthcare Directive. And we expect the EMA to be involved in the next joint action on HTA, which we plan to launch next year. In addition, personalized medicines can be mentioned as a promising field to offer better and safer treatments for patients. This medical approach is increasingly becoming a reality in research, and the Commission is authorizing an increased number of medicines following this approach. However, also in this area there are several challenges and opportunities involved. The biggest challenge will be to ensure the uptake in the healthcare systems. The discussions on all these matters will no doubt continue and need to involve all parties. Ladies and gentlemen, let me finish by wishing the European Medicines Agency a nice and happy birthday, with many successful years ahead. The agency has now reached a mature age, and the Commission will count on it continuing to produce high-quality work to the benefit of public health and ultimately patients. I think what we heard from Guido at the beginning, that he is proud on the achievements. I think we could be all proud on the achievements of EMA, and I'm pretty sure that there is all opportunities that we will be more and more proud on EMA and the results of its work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ladislav. Very encouraging words, very in the line that brought us to the success, the cooperation with the Commission, the cooperation with all the national authorities who are struggling to give us the resources to carry out this work.